there. My name is Robin, and I am happy to be coming to you today to talk about hormones and women's health. And I hope this is something that's very educational and helpful for you as you are pursuing your best self. And this is actually a training that I'm going to show you, a class that was originally put together, and the slideshow and everything was put together by a doctor in Montana named Kim Anderson. And I just want to say a quick shout out and thank you to Dr. Kim for sharing your presentation with me so that I can share it with my friends here. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you learn a lot, and I'm here to answer your questions and help you along your path to wellness. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that you can see what I am seeing in my PowerPoint here. That will take me just a second. This is managing your hormones naturally, and if you're anything like me, then you have a little bit of struggle at least once a month, or perhaps more than that, with some balance in your life. And this is going to be some helpful information for all of us as we continue to pursue that balance and calm that craziness that we can all have every once in a while. So just a quick funny joke to start out with. Which three major problems that women have all start with men? Menstruation, menopause, and mental breakdown. Sorry guys, just kidding. Our problems are often sourced within our own bodies, and there's an imbalance or some toxins that we have that we've been exposed to, or even some nutrients that we're missing. And so we're going to talk about all those things and how you can right all those wrongs and find better health and wellness in your body. Let me go ahead and turn that off so that you can just hear my voice and see the slideshow. Hopefully the volume's okay. Hormones actually guide us from birth to death. Every cell in your body is influenced by hormones, and hormones are not isolated to a specific age group. It's all throughout your life that you are influenced by these tiny molecules floating through your bloodstream. Hormones are produced in your glands. So you have several different glands, such as, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing that. I don't want you to see that. Strange pop-ups on my screen. Sorry, you have all kinds of glands throughout your body, and they're secreting hormones, and then those hormones throughout your bloodstream and service your cells. And then throughout your life, you are going to be influenced by those hormones throughout your body. Now, hormones affect our body in so many ways. They affect our metabolism, our growth and development, our sexual function and reproduction. They affect our mood, and I know you've experienced that one. They affect bone development and support, and we're going to talk a little bit more about osteoporosis in this webinar. They affect cardiovascular health, and they can affect the balance and homeostasis of your body overall. And going back to that cardiovascular health one, we see that when women have had hysterectomies and are facing that depletion of the hormones in their body, they have an increased risk for heart disease. And so when these hormones get out of balance, they can affect so many things in our body and in our lives, as you can see. So what's the big deal here about hormones and the balance of your hormones? Men do have more testosterone and women have more estrogen and progesterone. That's just what sets us apart and makes us different. But both men and women need balanced proportions of all three in order to achieve optimal health. And I know that's one of your goals, or you wouldn't be here, is to find that optimal health for yourself and your body. So men need estrogen for cognitive health. I don't know if you knew that or not, but men need some of these hormones as well, and they can't have a complete lack of any of the three, and neither can we. So we talked about an estrogen deficiency. So you might hear some about this, especially with women who are facing different difficulties in balancing their hormones, whether that's from problems that they've had, cancers, things like that. And so we want to talk about what comes with estrogen deficiency. We have decreased libido, which can seem like a minor thing, but when you're working on your marriage and when you want to meet the needs of your spouse and to have that desire as well, that can be a serious problem that a lot of women face and don't always feel comfortable talking about. It can also cause irregular and abnormal periods, bloating and water retention, breast swelling and tenderness, mood swings, weight gain, headaches, and osteoporosis. And so without estrogen, we have a lot of problems. So we need our estrogen and we need it in good balanced amounts. We also have hormone disruptors or disruptions. And these can be caused by or influenced by or even influence the result of poor diet. We can be insulin resistant. We can experience autoimmune disease, infections, inflammation, toxicity, and we see this often with xenoesters or hormone replacement. We see the imbalance of adrenal and thyroid glands, and we see because of a sedentary lifestyle, there are often those disruptors that come as well. And you'll also see in your nervous system, there can be a lot of dysfunction if you've got a hormone disruptor or a disruption. And here we see that there are different forms of menopause. So you might have only heard of one, but there are actually 3 different types of menopause. There's the natural menopause that most women experience as they age. They transition into that menopausal time. And then there's also a premature menopause, which can be toxicity induced. So that has to do with toxins, drugs, pharmaceuticals, things that have been introduced to your body that don't belong there, that cause you to have premature menopause. And then there's the third one, which is artificial menopause, and that's surgically induced. And so you might think of some people right now in your life who either you yourself are experiencing that, or you know someone who is experiencing one of those 3. And so I just want you to take a minute and jot down maybe someone in your life who is going through something, either menopause in any of its 3 forms, or any of those disruptions that we talked about earlier with the hormone disruptions. They might be experiencing any of these or a combination. And then you can also jot down some people in your life that you think might be experiencing an estrogen deficiency. Okay, so now we see that there are 3 types of estrogens. The first is natural, and the second is from synthetic industrial compounds, also known as xenoestrogens. And those can be found actually in our diet. Oftentimes you'll find they've been added to meats and dairy, even vegetables as well. So we do need to be careful of what we are exposed to. And it can also be in the form of our cosmetics. So those would be the synthetic forms of estrogen, those xenoestrogen. We're going to talk about that a little bit more and those harmful side effects that can come from those things. And then the third is plant-derived phytoestrogens, which we're also going to talk about, and those are actually very healthy and good and helpful for you. First, natural is produced by the body in your ovaries, adrenals, and fatty tissues. So even if you don't have ovaries, you can still produce natural estrogen, and you'll still have that in your body. You will just not have quite as much as you need. Natural estrogen turns energy into fat. And so if you've got an abundance of that energy, your body will convert that into fat using estrogen. And the progesterone turns fat into energy. And so your body, if it has an excess level of progesterone and not enough estrogen, your body will get turned into that fat, that energy producing mode. And that's often why you experience some hot flashes, is because your body all of a sudden thinks it has to produce a lot of energy that you're not necessarily burning with exercise, and so you kind of get a little bit warmer. So then number 2, we're going to talk about the synthetic xenoestrogens. And xeno means foreign or strange, and these can come from cosmetic, dairy, even plastics, processed foods, and pesticides. And often we find those in our American diet, and they're hidden. We don't even know that they're there in our cosmetics or our diet. And so we've got to look and be careful and be vigilant about what we're putting into our body, because it's not going to always be friendly to our body. These xenoestrogens are structurally similar to estrogen and mimics them as a false messenger. They interfere with the normal hormonal activity and cause an imbalance. Like it says below, you can find these in dairy products and meats. They're often injecting meat with artificial hormones to cause the animal to grow larger and produce more meat or more milk. You can find them in GMO soy-based products, so you have to be careful based on your soy, what you're getting. As a side note, if you have fermented soy, that's going to be safe and not going to have those xenoestrogens in it because of the fermentation process. And you can also find it in plastic. So even drinking out of plastic water bottles and things like that, you're going to be exposed to those as well. So you want to be careful what you're drinking from, what you're eating from, what you're cooking in. Even cooking in Teflon can expose you to xenoestrogens that are not healthy for you. And be careful of your personal care products. And that's why I'm just choosing more and more to choose natural things for myself and for my family, things that don't contain these harsh chemicals and synthetics that can be so harmful to your body. And then we'll talk about phytoestrogens. So why are phytoestrogens good? First of all, they're much weaker. And so if they do cause a difference in your body and your body's balance, it's going to be a difference that your body can handle and is not going to be completely thrown off by. They're 1,000 times less dominant than normal estrogens. And you can find them in isoflavones, and a great source is genistein. And it's widely studied, and it's been proven to be the most beneficial of the phytoestrogens. And you can also find them in Lingans, which is some examples include flax seeds, fruit, berries, and seed oils. So incorporating those into your diet are going to be excellent. And you want to note and take note of this, that phytoestrogens are adaptogenic. So if you have too much, they can reduce the amount of estrogen that you have in your body. And if you have too little, they can help you increase that amount. And I just think it's so beautiful how our bodies were made to adapt. And our Creator knew that we would need help. And He put plants on this earth to help us to be able to balance our bodies and the chemistry in our bodies as we use the plants in tandem with our nutrition and our healthcare and the way we take care of ourselves. You can see a little picture here. This is a little bit scientific, but basically the blue circles are your natural estrogen. And if you've got that synthetic xenoestrogen in your body, the nucleus is going to read those and is going to tell your body that you have plenty of estrogen, and it's not going to make any more. And then it's going to be imbalanced because you're not going to have the right amount of natural estrogen that you need. But that xenoestrogen is not fulfilling all of the functions. It's just pretending to be an estrogen. It's not helping your body. It's harming it. Whereas the plant estrogens are less dominant, more gentle, more natural, and your body reads them in a way that doesn't throw it totally off balance. I hope that makes sense. So the hope in all of this, with these discouraging news that there are things in our environment and things in our diet that are harming us, and that we've got so many problems based on hormonal imbalance, and they cause so many harmful symptoms that are uncomfortable. The good news is that we have some natural solutions to help us out with what we need. So let's talk about essential oils and natural supplements. First of all, citrus oils are excellent if you are facing hormonal imbalance or any of the symptoms that we've been talking about that come along with that imbalance. You'll want to use citrus oils internally, topically, or aromatically. Any of those ways are great, and to use them every single day. The citrus oils detoxify your liver and other systems and tissues in your body, even your bloodstream. It detoxifies your whole entire body from those xenoestrogens. The essential oil recognizes the synthetic molecule and begins to break it down to a point where it's able to be flushed out of your body through your natural elimination processes. And even smelling the aroma of citrus oils balances your hormones. It goes and it affects your mood. The aroma goes in through your nose to your brain, where your limbic system is located at your olfactory bulb, and it can really change the way your brain chemistry is functioning and affect the hormones in your brain at a cellular level. And it's a very great detoxifier and mood uplifter. And Dr. Hill, who's our chief medical advisor, puts 10 to 15 drops of grapefruit in a capsule and takes that daily. And it's a natural diuretic, so it's great for bloating as well. So here are some of the symptoms and some oils that can help you with those symptoms. If you are experiencing hot flashes, we recommend peppermint, geranium, citrus, balance, and clary sage. Peppermint is actually a natural air conditioner. And if you put it on the back of your neck, maybe along your chest and your arms, that's really going to cool you off and help you feel much, much more relieved. And it's great because you can just put it on yourself, and if somebody else is cold in the room, then you're not affecting them with your air conditioner. You're just affecting yourself, and that's perfect. So if you're someone who's experiencing fatigue because of your hormonal imbalance, you can look to ginger, peppermint, white fir, and lifelong vitality. Lifelong vitality are our natural vitamin and nutrient supplements. I'm going to talk about them a little bit more in a minute, but they're great for decreasing fatigue and increasing energy. All of those oils will be great. You can diffuse them, you can use them topically, or you can use them internally. Ylang ylang, ginger, peppermint, elevation, and clary sage are fantastic to increase a low libido. I'd also add whisper. If you have whisper, that would be a great one to add. If you don't have these oils, we can talk about how you can get some at the end of the class, but I just want to go over the ones that are good recommendations to start with as you're experiencing these symptoms. But we don't just want to treat the symptoms. We want to go deeper and address the underlying root issue of why you're experiencing these symptoms. And one of the first things that I recommend for people as they are attempting to balance their hormones and their life is to try our probiotics. Now, you might know by now that your gut health affects your whole body. So if you have an imbalance of good and bad bacteria, if you've got too much bad bacteria in your intestines and not enough of that good bacteria, or if you have a yeast overgrowth, which is also known as candida, you're going to experience a lot of negative side effects because of that. So what you want to do is you want to restore the balance with a probiotic. Now, our probiotic is double encapsulated. It's a state-of-the-art formula that helps protect and support a healthy digestive system, and it increases your immune system. It crowds out the bad organisms like yeast and bad bacteria, and it makes the environment uninhabitable. It also enhances the bioavailability of phytoestrogens, which we talked about before from your diet, and we're going to also talk about a supplement of phytoestrogens in a minute. But PB Assist is the first line of defense to make sure that your gut is healthy and that you have proper digestion and that you aren't experiencing the negative effects of yeast or bad bacteria. The second supplement that is fantastic is called phytoestrogen. Now, we talked about this, and you can find it in your diet, but you might find it hard to eat enough of those, and so it might be a little bit easier to go ahead and supplement your diet with this phytoestrogen lifetime complex. This is recommended. We actually recommend this for women of all ages, but especially we recommend for women experiencing perimenopause or menopause. And so we say for women who aren't in menopause yet, it's great for them to take one a day. But for women who are experiencing menopause, it's best to take 2 a day. So these phytoestrogen isoflavone is standardized to genistein, and we talked about that being the best proven phytoestrogen you can get. It includes pomegranate extract, which is standardized to ellagic acid, and flaxseed extract, which is ligand content. So you might think of antioxidants being very helpful for bringing down inflammation, Lingans are also great for bringing down estrogen waste. Now, estrogen waste can increase your risk of cancer. So if we can bring down that estrogen waste from those metabolites, we can bring down your risk of cancer. So that's very, very important. I will also say that if you have experienced breast cancer or any type of cancer before or are currently, that there are wonderful oils that can help with that, including frankincense and DDR prime, to support the healthy regeneration of your cells and to protect the DNA and RNA so that the cells of your body, when they are reproduced, are going to be reproduced in a healthy way and not mutated. And so those are a couple of great oils to support someone if you or someone you know is facing cancer. Phytoestrogens provide the needed support in a safer way than hormone replacement therapy. And hormone replacement therapy is basically those xenoestrogens that we talked about before. They're foreign. We don't recognize them. They don't work well with our body, and they cause an even greater imbalance. And so instead of having that hormone replacement therapy in a harsh synthetic way, I recommend choosing phytoestrogens. They're from plants. That your body is going to recognize it. Your body is going to be much gentler for your body and not as harsh and cause those side effects that you don't want to see. I'm going to go back to that for just a second, actually, because something I learned recently is that when you have hormone replacement therapy or treatment, whichever one it is, they did a study out of Boston, and the people who were going through hormone replacement therapy for 10 years showed 100% risk of breast cancer, whereas people who had gone through that therapy for 5 years showed 40% risk. So the longer you take that hormone replacement therapy, the greater your risk of cancer. And they've changed that somewhat, but it is still not as good as it should be, and there's still such a high risk of breast cancer and other types of cancer when you are facing that. And so if you have had hysterectomy or in normal menopause, instead of that hormone replacement therapy, I would just encourage you to consider choosing or at least trying phytoestrogens and some of these other natural methods first. So we talk about the genistein soy isoflavone extract. And I want to say that the soy here is the kind that's been fermented. And so it's not going to have those harmful effects of cancer and of imbalance like the GMO soy that you might find. Our soy is not GMO that we put in our phytoestrogen for one thing, and it has also been fermented. The genistein binds with estrogen receptors on the cells and blocks other foreign estrogens. It is a very mild estrogen effect, and there are no harmful metabolites or waste like you'll find with the xenoestrogens. So the third supplement that we recommend is called the bone nutrient complex. Now we talk about osteoporosis being due to an imbalance of hormones. So you're not absorbing or producing or able to have it be available to your bones, the calcium and magnesium and other nutrients that you need. And that is due to a hormone imbalance. And more people die from the complications of hip fractures than breast cancer. So osteoporosis is even a greater threat than breast cancer. And so we need to be talking about this as well. So the bone nutrient complex provides optimal levels of bioavailable minerals and vitamins. And this is going to be ready for your body to digest. There's 1,000 milligrams of calcium and 400 milligrams of magnesium. It also has all of your serving that you need of vitamin D2 and D3. And we put this in foodborne yeast for proper utilization and bioavailability. And I just want to make a point that this is not the yeast that is bad for you that we talked about earlier. This yeast is just how they harvest it and how they supply it. It's cultured in a yeast and then harvested, just so you know. All right, and fourth, and possibly most important for everyone across the board, no matter what age or stage of life you are in, is our lifelong vitality. Now, this is my #1 recommendation for anyone who comes to me and says, I am so fatigued, I'm so tired, I'm so worn out. And also, it is what I highly recommend for anyone who has a compromised immune system, as well as anyone who has a compromised digestive system, and anyone who has a compromised cardiovascular system. I also recommend it for people who are struggling with mood disorders, and just, I guess, low mood and discouraged mood. And I also recommend this for people who are struggling with persistent pain and discomfort. So this is going to be just everything you need that your body needs at a cellular level to function at its highest capacity. It also is a great daily cleanse. So it includes the Microplex MVP, which contain cofactors for producing progesterone, which is important. Alpha CRS has turmeric in it, which encourages progesterone production. And the Z Omega contains thyme, which encourages progesterone production, as well as oregano. So here's the morning protocol. I like to recommend Trim Shake because it has an herb in it called ashwagandha, which is wonderful for helping to balance hormones and your metabolism. And that metabolism is something we're really struggling with as we get older as women. Also, don't forget your Lifelong Vitality Pack, your phytoestrogen, your Mito2 Max, which is a non-harmful and harsh stimulant. It actually is a very gentle energy booster without harmful stimulants or caffeine. Obviously, your bone nutrient complex. Terrazyme is an enzyme, a natural enzyme that you take to help you digest your food in case you have trouble digesting dairy or gluten or other things like that. And then 3 to 5 drops of grapefruit oil in a capsule and 3 to 5 drops of frankincense under your tongue. Now, frankincense has a great chemical compounds and properties that help your brain function at its highest capacity. It helps you to be sharp and reduces brain fog. It just helps you to think so clearly and to be able to function very well in your metabolism, in your body, in your brain, in your mood, all kinds of things. And for the afternoon, you're going to want to take your phytoestrogen, your Mito2 Max, your bone nutrient complex, Terrazyme, and PB Assist. Do that frankincense again. Make sure you're getting your citrus oils and detoxifying and waking up. And then white fir or Roman chamomile if you need to relax. Balancing your blood sugar. This is a great capsule recipe if you struggle with your blood sugar being imbalanced. Maybe it's too high, maybe it's too low. These are going to be adaptogenic oils as well. So it's going to help whatever's going on to get into a balanced state. So you've got coriander, cinnamon, grapefruit, and juniper berry. You put in a capsule and take it whenever you need it. Your evening time is going to be Lifelong Vitality Pack, Terrazyme and PB Assist, geranium on the bottoms of your feet. And at bedtime, you can do cedarwood and balance or serenity, juniper berry, any of those great nighttime oils. And sometimes even just lavender is such a great help if you have trouble sleeping. Is recommended as you are trying to get your hormones back in balance that you have an aroma touch technique 2 to 4 times a month. And if that's you, I can help you with that if you're local to me in San Diego. If you're not, I can help you find someone who is local to you. And so you can get an aroma touch technique as you need it. It's a great balance for homeostasis, immune support, digestive support, everything that you're going to need. And then it's recommended that you exercise 30 minutes a day. So one of the things Dr. Kim said was that if you have osteoporosis, the best thing you can do is exercise and then take a supplement. So don't just take a supplement and sit on the couch and expect your supplement to do all the work. You're going to have to do the exercise and the work as well. And then make sure that you have a good plan to manage your symptoms, because you might have the occasional hot flashes. You might still have some fatigue that you're fighting. And so you're going to take those oils that we mentioned earlier as you're managing your symptoms, whether that's for menopause or just a hormonal imbalance or just your monthly time in general. So I just want to end this presentation and say that your health is in your hands. You are the one who knows your body best. You know what you need. There's only one person who knows better than you what you need, and that's your maker. And so I just want to encourage you to seek out the natural remedies that he has provided for you already on this earth, and that you can find ways to take care of your health and take charge of your health with natural solutions that aren't going to cause harmful side effects. And you're not going to have to be at the mercy of someone who only knows a limited amount of options, that being pharmaceuticals. You can have the freedom of knowing that your health is in your own hands. I just wanted to make sure that you have my information here. There's my email. If you are interested in any of the products and you don't have a way to get them for a discount, I would be happy to help you do that. If you are already working with someone else in doTERRA, I would just go ahead and talk to that person and say, I'm ready to get started today. I want to take charge of my health, and I want to seek these natural solutions so that I don't have to be at the mercy of someone who only understands pharmaceuticals and side effects. If you aren't already working with someone in doTERRA and I'm the person who shared oils with you, I would love to help you get started today. We can do that right away. You can get started and you can have these oils and these supplements that you are taking and that you're giving your body what it needs to function at the highest capacity that it can to come back into the balance that God created it to operate in. If you want to go ahead and email me, you can call me at the 724 number. You can also text the word health to 619-202-8157, and it will send you a link for my health survey. Go ahead and fill that out, and I'd be happy to send you a free sample of essential oils and help you get started today with taking charge of your health naturally. What I usually do is set up an appointment for you guys, and just for you individually, and we can go over your health concerns and how to use essential oils and supplements. My part takes about 30 minutes, and you don't have to buy anything, but if you do see something that you like, or you saw something today that you are very interested in getting, of course, I'm going to help you get that at the best price possible. So I look forward to talking with you more and helping you get started taking charge of your health. Thanks so much for joining me today. We'll talk to you soon.